Welcome back to another DIY food video. Today I'm going to show you guys how to make this awesome gummy skull for your next Halloween party. It's so easy to make and it looks so cool. Before we start with that though, I want to show you guys the disaster I made on my last attempt to make Jello bubblegum. What a disaster. Ugh, not enough Jello. This is what happens. But that's over with. Back to our tutorial. So for this one, I perfected the ingredients and the recipe. So you're going to need some gelatin, water. You're going to need some kind of a model to make your mold. You'll need a large container to place your mold in. You'll need some dental floss. I know that's weird, but you'll need it. A straw. And then you'll need 328 grams of gelatin. That's what we're starting with. We'll need more for later, but that's what we'll start with. So here I have 6 cups of water, 328 grams of gelatin, and we're going to mix that in before we boil the gelatin. So while the water is still at room temperature or cold, we want to blend in really well all of that gelatin. So that's what I'm doing there. There were some clumps in there, but I was able to get them out. Now the gelatin is on the stove boiling. Once that is done boiling, you want to pour in just enough gelatin to cover the bottom. And you're going to put that in the fridge for about 10 or 15 minutes so that it can set. We're going to then take it out. Once it's set, and it's perfect, you're going to put in whatever you want to make the mold out of, which I have my skull. I'm putting that in. I'm holding it in place so it does not move or float up with a small shot glass and some tape. Then I'm going to pour in the cooled gelatin. You guys want to make sure that that gelatin has been sitting for 10 or 15 minutes. You do not want to pour it in while it's still boiling hot straight out of the stove. And you're also not going to pour it all the way to the top. We want to pour in just enough to have it set really well and hold your item in place, but not all the way to the top. We'll take it back out of the fridge and pour more gelatin in. But right now we just want to get the majority of your item or my skull filled up. You'll see here I'm filling it up. It's almost to the top, so I stop. And then I place it in the refrigerator for 2 hours. I wanted to make sure it was set all the way through. All right, here it is. Now, I want to pour the rest of my gelatin, but first we're going to take the tape off. We're going to take the little shot glass out of there. It's no longer needed. It is not going to move. Now the rest of the gelatin is going in, and it was the perfect amount to fill all the way above the skull's head. All right, now back in the fridge, and this time I left it overnight. There it is, guys. It was perfect, and this time it was not going to fall apart on me. So I began to slowly around the edges, loosen it. I was so nervous. I was afraid that once this thing came out, it was going to fall apart in my hands again, but it did not. You just have to take your time here. You want to loosen it all the way around, make sure that there's nothing that is stuck. But here it is. Voila! It came out like a charm, and it was perfection. Such a great mold, you guys. It was so easy that you could literally make a mold out of anything, and it was cheap. You don't have to buy that expensive clay to make molds out of. And here is where the dental floss comes in handy. You want to use that to cut that mold in half so that we can get the skull head out. And you want to make sure to get it really close to whatever you're using. Once you do that, I got it really, really close. Now it's time to pull these 2 pieces apart. To take out the skull head that I had in there, I want to make sure to get it out. So I was very gentle. Slowly, I took my time pulling apart these 2 pieces to get that skull out of there so that I can pour in the actual red gelatin that I'm going to be using. All right, here it is. It was so perfect, you guys. This was such a satisfying moment. It worked. There it is. Oh, I got all of the details from that skull. All right, it's out. There is your mold, you guys. So this is what we're going to use to pour in the additional red Jello so that we can get our gummy skull head. Alright, so first, let's make the second batch of Jello. For that, you're gonna need more regular unflavored gelatin as well as red gelatin. I picked a raspberry gelatin because it was like a deep red color. You'll need an entire box of that. And 4 more cups of water. Pour that in. Again, it's at room temperature. It is not hot. It helps the gelatin blend in better without not too many clumps. Blend all that together. And now to the stove. While that is boiling, I'm making a small hole on the bottom of my mold with a straw. That's where the straw came into the picture. I just wanted to punch a hole so that I can put in that funnel. Again, you guys, do not pour in hot gelatin. You want to make sure that your gelatin has been sitting there for 5 or 10 minutes, 10 or 15 preferably. All right, here we go. We're filling up that mold. Fill it up all the way to the top. I pushed it a little bit and I overfilled it, and I had a little bit of a mishap here. It was not a disaster. I was actually happy about this because I used that Jello that oozed out as glue to keep this mold together, and it worked perfectly. It was genius. It was an accident, but it was totally genius. Now I did have some Jello left, and I thought it would be fun to make some Jello cups, so I just took out 2 cups. Don't use glass cups. I don't know why I did that. But yeah, so I poured the Jello into some cups, and I made some Jello cups for your next party. Let's pull apart these 2 pieces of mold. Let's get our gummy skull out, you guys. And this part right here was so satisfying because I've had so many disasters with Jello. You have no idea. There he is. Happy birthday, Skeletor. It was so much fun. You guys have to try this. You have to. With the right amount of gelatin, this is such a cool project. There it is. Is that not cool for your next Halloween party or your next party? Anything. You can make these molds out of anything. I just happen to have this skull candle for Halloween. I thought, hey, Halloween is coming around. This is a cool project. Let's do it. You guys have to try it. In the comments down below, give me some ideas. What should I do next? What gummy item should I make next? Thank you so much for watching. If you have enjoyed this video and want me to continue making them, give the video a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!